Hi, everyone, and welcome back to No Time for Neutral. I'm your host, Georgia Hawthorne.
And I'm Andy.
Andy, the primary cycle is officially in swing. Ballots are out.
Yes, exciting.
Have you gotten yours yet?
I got mine and I
Perfect.
dropped it in the mailbox last night.
Perfect.
I'm the
I
early kind of guy.
I have mine. I filled it out. I have not dropped it off yet, which is what I do every single year. Don't be like me, folks. But y'all, we have choices this year in our Democratic primary, and I feel like in Montana we don't usually get this many choices. So my take is that we should use that to our advantage. I
Absolutely.
know there are some folks out there who think that occasionally we should vote for moderates in the Republican primary to try to moderate the GOP. And it's not our responsibility to save the Republican Party from themselves. It's not. We're here to build the Democratic Party and get Democrats elected. And so that's what we're going to do. Andy, I think we should run through our candidates real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
I want everyone to remember that MDP does not endorse pre-primary. This decision is entirely up to the voters. I am just letting y'all know who your candidates are. So in our
Yes.
Western race for MTO1, that's Kalispell, Missoula, Bozeman, Butte. Those are the big population centers in MTO1. You have Russell Cleveland, Ryan Busse, Sam Forstag, and Matt Raines. If you live on the eastern side of the state in the second congressional district, so Helena, Great Falls, Billings, Havre, Miles City, everything east of that, you have Brian Miller and Sam Lux. There will be another name on your ballot for the second congressional district. That will be Jonathan Windyboy. Do not vote for Jonathan Windyboy. Jonathan Windyboy has serious sexual allegations against him. He's been asked to resign his Senate seat. He has lost all committees in the state legislature. And we as Montana Democrats are not supporting his run for Congress. So vote for Brian or Sam because both of them are great candidates. And then we also have a Senate seat up, and that is statewide. Running for that seat is Riley Neal, Alani Bankhead, Michael Blackwolf, Christopher Kehoe, and Michael Hummert. And then I think the race that hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention for this June primary, Andy, is the Supreme Court race.
Yeah, very true.
There's a seat up on the Supreme Court. The two candidates are Dan Wilson and Amy Eddy. The Montana GOP endorsed Dan Wilson straight out of the gate. He's run for this seat before. And simply because if he's endorsed by them, I want anyone but him. I voted for Amy Eddy. I also know her daughter from school, so that was a bonus.
Oh, cool.
But do your own research there. That's a nonpartisan race, so MDP doesn't take a stance there. But
Right. We never endorse as a party for the judicial races. But like you just said, the Republicans straight out of the gate endorsed this individual. Um, that's part of the problem in our politics right now.
mm-hmm,
Like they're actively trying to politicize the court system. And that's exactly what Democrats do not want. I think that's exactly what most Montana voters, most
mm-hmm,
Americans do not want. So keep your eyes peeled on that and
mm-hmm.
vote for
I
them.
think my fear with like a GOP endorsed judicial candidate like that is that you are supposed to look at every case on its merits, every
Exactly.
case as it comes to you. And if you are already pre endorsed by the Montana GOP, that makes me think that you have political beliefs that you will carry into your judgeship, meaning that you have pre established beliefs on abortion, on a clean and
Totally.
healthful environment. The things that I really care about, if he's already pre endorsed by the Republicans, I don't trust him to handle each individual case as it comes up.
Totally. Like
But that's
if
just my own like personal calculus.
oh, I agree. If I were to have to go to court and stand in front of a judge that has obviously been like endorsed by Republicans and me as a flaming liberal,
Right.
that's a very uncomfortable situation. I don't want to be a part of that.
But so those are the main races on your June primary. You will also potentially have state legislature seats, county commission seats, sheriff seats, depending on what is up and who has a primary in your local area. When you're submitting your ballot, we saw this come last municipal election, but don't forget your birth year at the bottom of your ballot. There's a big arrow at the bottom, and there's 4 boxes, and that's where you put your birth year. And if you don't put
Along
your birth
with
year,
your
your
signature.
ballot gets rejected.
Yes, along with your signature, and you have to date it. So it's three things you need
Yep,
to put on the front of that envelope.
yep, yep. Sign, date, birth year, seal the envelope, toss it in the mail, take it in person, however you choose. You just got to return that ballot by 8 p.m. on June 2nd. And the county elections office has to have it in their hands by
Yeah.
8 p.m. It can't be postmarked or anything like that.
I also think it's important to point out, so this like signing, dating, and putting your birth year on the ballot is like a fairly new thing that just started in recent elections because this is a Montana Republican um, effort to
Mm-hmm.
disenfranchise more voters. It's another form of voter suppression because, like you just said, if you don't do that, your ballot gets thrown out. Their methodology is like, well, it's going to be Democrats that don't fill out their ballot. And, like they think it's a win for Republicans. Frankly, it's a loss for everybody. If
Yeah.
somebody, votes and their vote doesn't count because of some silly thing like not putting your birth year on the ballot, that sucks for
Yeah.
everybody. Um, but it is the law, it is what it is. So make sure to sign, date, and put your birth year on your ballot.
Yep. Make sure those votes get counted, folks. If you're mailing it, make sure you have a stamp. Make sure you put it in the mail by May 25th. That gives it a whole week to get to your county elections office because they have to have it by 8 by June on June 2nd. And then once you turn in your ballot, if you'd like to track your status to make sure that your ballot is accepted and that there aren't any issues, you can do that at voterportal.mt.gov. Andy, and speaking of voter suppression,
Mhm.
Montana Republicans love it. We know this. Um,
Especially Christi Jacobsen.
God, her too. But this week, we actually got good news for voting rights in Montana. The Montana Supreme Court struck down another Republican law that they passed that would have made it harder for Montanans to vote. Under
Oh,
this law, voter registration would have ended at noon on election day, which would mean that no one could register or vote for the last 8 hours of election day.
which is crazy because a lot happens
Absolutely wild.
8 hours of election day.
No, right. Do you know how many people you can get in an elections office in 8 hours? A lot.
A lot.
But so thankfully, the Supreme Court struck that law down for now. As it stands, you have all day on election day to register and cast your ballot. But why wait till the last minute?
Exactly. We have the opportunity to start voting right now, weeks in
Mm-hmm.
advance, and by mail or hand deliver, like whatever you need to do. The smartest thing is just to vote early, folks. Unless you're one of those people that truly loves the tradition of going to the elections office the day of and that like ritual of going in the booth or whatever you do. But things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean, in my opinion,
never
voting
know.
early, it's easier. Like, I don't feel oof. In my opinion, voting early is easier. Like, I don't feel the pressure of like sitting in a booth. Like, when you get to that one race that you're like, I have no idea who these candidates are. Let me like pull out my phone really quick to look them
Right.
up. I always feel like I'm like cheating on a test.
Yes.
Like, it's really uncomfortable for me. So like I get really stressed out and then like you don't want to have to worry about any crazy lines day of. What if you get sick? You can
True.
always vote early in person if you're not signed up to get an absentee ballot. You
Yeah.
just got to go into your county elections office and ask to vote early and take care of it that way.
Yeah. And like I think I've only personally actually gone to an elections office and like voted in a booth one time in my life, and I've been voting for like 15 years at this point.
Hmm.
And Montana has always had vote by mail, at least since I
Yeah.
started voting, which I think is so wild and crazy that the president has for years just like gone after mail voting. I mean, in rural states like Montana, it only makes sense. It's like
Mhm.
it's a wonderful way to vote. And
Yeah.
especially when you can vote so early, like Vote early, people.
Agree. So, does everyone remember when Christi Jacobsen sent a whole bunch of Montanans' private information over to the federal government?
Hmm. Yeah,
Because Democrats do. Last week, Montana Democrats forced the state administration committee in the state legislature to begin drafting a subpoena against Secretary Christi Jacobsen because she has refused to answer questions or even show up to a hearing regarding the voter data that she released to the feds.
great. Hold her accountable. I think it's total bullshit that she doesn't show up to work or doesn't show up to these hearings to
Oh yeah,
report.
this woman, like,
Yeah. She never shows up to report on what her office does. And it's like really important work that they do,
right,
especially like when there's questions surrounding like what type of personal information was sent to the feds. Like we all know the Trump administration is shady as shit,
I
and
mean, yeah.
they requested this voter information from the states because they want to cheat, right? And so if Jacobson just up and sent it, okay, what did she send? What kind of personal data did she send?
Right. And they like every time she sends her little lackey into these congressional or into these legislative hearings, he just keeps saying, well, I can't tell you that under threat of litigation. I can't tell you that because we might get sued by the Trump administration. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. And
Sued by the
everyone's
Trump
like,
administration for complying with what they asked you for. That doesn't.
right. Like it just doesn't make any sense because like in the email that was released, it says Montana has fully satisfied the DOJ's request. Okay, then if you fully satisfied the request, then why are you going to get sued?
Right.
And Representative Mark Lee in this hearing, he made a really good point. He was like, I know everyone wants to say that like the federal government has some of this information. Of course they do. It's a government. Like maybe they have your driver's license number, maybe they have your social security number. But they obviously needed something that was in that file
Yeah.
that they did not have access to.
Right. Because why else would they
Why
request?
else would they ask? And why
And
else would they sue other states for not complying?
I think one of the red flags here also is that people forget sometimes that the states are responsible for its citizens voting. Like it's the states that oversee the voting process. It's
Say
not
it
the
again. I
federal
don't
government.
think the White House heard you.
Yeah, it's not the feds, it's not the White House, it's not Donald Trump. It's the state of Montana that oversees our election system and all the other 49 states and their election processes. So this is
Right.
the problem here. And now that the federal government is trying to like hop in, it's a big red flag.
Right. Like, and when we say voter information, that could be anything. And the fact that Jacobson isn't answering questions is just leading to more of them.
Yeah,
And then they're getting mad when people are asking more questions. Like, okay, so voter information. What does that mean? Does that mean where you voted? Does that mean when you voted? Does that mean how you voted? Like, what kind of information are we talking about here? And the more she refuses to answer, the more conspiracy theory this gets.
totally. Like, can you imagine the question to like how you voted if that information got into
Right.
the hands of Donald Trump and his crazy administration, you know?
And
Like
like she just thinks that's fine.
talk about retribution and like, his lawyers going after people.
Anyways, Representative Kelly Cordum has asked staff to draft a subpoena requesting the headers of the spreadsheet of the voter file that was sent to the federal government. This way, Montanans can learn what information was shared. So, name, last name, driver's license number, whatever is on those column headers, without that sensitive information having to be shared again, without the entire legislative committee now being able to see this file. Like the whole point of this is that she potentially violated our privacy.
Yeah,
Why would we continue to violate that privacy as we continue to investigate?
sure.
So, props to legislative Democrats for taking the lead here because it's very obvious the attorney general plans on doing jack shit about it. So,
Yep. Georgie, have you filled up your car lately?
Unfortunately, I have. Um, I want my money back
Yo, this is crazy.
because I wasn't even like completely on empty. And like I've got a pretty like big SUV, so like my tank's pretty large, but I wasn't even on full or I wasn't even completely on empty. And it was like $75
Oh,
to fill my tank. And I'm sitting here at the gas station like, are you kidding me? Diesel prices are like almost 550 now.
so
I
crazy.
thought I saw they're
Un
they're up there.
Unleaded here in Missoula is $4.58. Like, I'm debating stopping driving for a
No,
while.
literally. When I came back from Hawaii, we landed in Bozeman and then we drove back from Bozeman to Great Falls and we're like driving through Belgrade, like heading back to the interstate. And I like screamed out loud. I was like, what is that? Because gas prices had gone up like 40 cents while we were gone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers.
I can't even remember in recent memory where gas has skyrocketed this much in such a short period of time. And like, let's remind folks, this is due to the war with Iran that Donald Trump caused. It is directly related to the president and his missteps here. And we're suffering the consequences. It's crazy. $4.58 gas.
I also saw something that there might be a Diet Coke shortage because like 9% of the world's aluminum goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm cherishing every single Diet Coke I get to drink.
Uh,
This is very much a first world problem, guys. I'm aware of that.
Wait, isn't that Trump's favorite beverage of choice as well, Georgie?
I believe so. Maybe we'll get something done, guys. Should we
Yeah,
start lobbying on the Diet Coke effort?
if he has to suffer for not having his regular Diet Coke, I mean, I think that's a problem that'll probably get fixed quickly.
But yeah, I mean gas prices are going up so fast and I don't think anyone's really able to like keep up with it. Like you said, like you're considering not driving anymore. And I think the irony in that is that the transportation secretary has been spending a good portion of his time in the last couple of months filming a documentary with his family entitled The Great American Road Trip, encouraging Americans to like get out and have some like good old fashioned quality time and go explore our beautiful country.
Mm,
How in the hell am I supposed to take a road trip when gas is $5 a gallon?
right. Yeah, I don't think it's really gonna help drive tourism. Um, Also, keep in mind this guy filmed this reality show with taxpayer dollars, and this isn't just some like little family. This is a family with 9 children who all have to eat, who all need a hotel room bed to stay in. So, like, can you imagine like your taxpayer dollars paying for this guy's family's United States road trip adventure that they filmed into a reality show? Like, this is insane, people. This
Like,
is
also, he's the transportation secretary. Has anyone seen how many horrific airplane accidents we've had in the last 6 weeks?
wild. The air traffic controller shortage, like the TSA problem. Yeah, we've
Our
had
government is run by a bunch of morons.
a bunch of morons. And as far as like the driving, the quitting driving, I'd love to quit driving. I think when I'm like in Missoula working, I can definitely walk places more. But like, I have a farm that I need to go to and like
For
do
sure.
chores. I can't quit driving completely. Most people can't. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. Americans
Oh,
are
I'm sure we could go on a rant about car-centric infrastructure for probably an hour, but
yeah,
maybe that's for another day. Because we've got a busy weekend. It's a busy weekend in Montana, Andy.
we do.
Um, if you haven't heard yet, Custer County Democrats and all Montana Democrats are throwing a big frickin' party in Miles City this weekend for bucking horse sale. I am so stoked.
Yes.
We're going to have candidates on the grills serving up free breakfast on Friday. We've got a parade and a meet and greet on Saturday. I think it's really shaping up to be a fun, fun weekend. If anyone wants to join us, there's a more detailed schedule on social media that you can look at.
Amazing.
Uh,
If you've never been to the Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana, definitely go this weekend. It is a Montana tradition, beloved and well known.
I
It's
feel
a
like it's
party,
so classic.
so get ready to party. But I'm so excited that Democrats are showing up to this thing. And we're going to be out and proud at the Bucking Horse Sale. It's
I
going to
mean, Montanans want to change, and we're never going to reach those Montanans if we continue to write off rural areas of this state.
be.
And I think we've been doing a lot of that work in the last year and a half, 2 years. Andy, do you want to talk about the Lake County expansion a little bit?
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, so like you said, the party is really investing and putting time and energy and money into rural communities more than we have in recent years. And one example that we're really excited to celebrate is our efforts in Lake County. Lake County will be hiring our third full-time Montana organizer. And these organizer positions are partnerships with the state party and local county central committees. So
Mm-hmm.
how this works is each county fundraises the money and through this joint effort and through the party's infrastructure, we create these jobs, which are funneled through the party. So the staff receive the benefits that come through
Mm-hmm.
working through the state party. But that staff is working in their specific county. In this case, it'll be Lake County, which is like Polson, St. Ignatius,
Ronan.
Ronan, Arlee. Um, and yeah, doing that work in the counties that need it. So this will be the third one. We're
Mm-hmm.
really encouraging counties all over the state to hop on the bandwagon
Yeah.
here. So yeah, it's a super cool thing. We have a full-time organizer here in Missoula, Allison Wilson. She
Mm-hmm.
does incredible work. We're so fortunate to have her.
Yep.
And ultimately, these positions are going to help get more Democrats elected statewide.
Right. This long-term infrastructure is so important, especially in rural areas. It was really easy to pilot programs in Billings and Missoula, but now we're actually being able to expand this program into the communities that need it most. I'm really, really excited.
For sure.
Um, but if you're planning on joining us in Miles City this weekend, we've got a new billboard up near the grandstands. If you see it, share it on social media, give us a tag. I think you guys are gonna like it. And then also this weekend, we've got Pete Buttigieg in town, Andy.
So
Surprise.
I love Pete.
He's coming to town. He recently endorsed the Montana Plan. That's the ballot initiative that's hoping to kick dark money out of Montana politics. So he's going to be in Butte on Sunday. If you're interested in attending that, you can head to pete.montanaplan.org.
That's pete.montanaplan.org.
Yep.
I
So
already reserved my seat.
there's plenty of things to go to this weekend, Montana. Hopefully, we'll catch you at one of them. Get those ballots turned in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.